Dan, how are you, my man?
I'm really good, Paulie. How are you doing?
Doing very, very well. I'm in a very, very bare, naked house. We're temporarily moving out of our home. So if there is a lot of echo in things, it's because there is absolutely nothing in this Art Deco house. And yeah, I love it that way.
Awesome. Well, hopefully you can use it for some good training sessions as well.
Yeah, well, I feel like the place just looks so much bigger without anything in. Are we back, Dan?
I think I think we're back.
It's good. So there's nothing in the house, including the internet from time to
Yeah, perfect.
time. Look, Dan, I wanted to talk today about nutrition, and I wanted to talk about the convenience of what is out there nowadays. Um, Especially since, like I had a big day of packing yesterday, and nutrition, it could have been so easy for my nutrition to fall to the wayside. We go to supermarkets nowadays, and you know, you are just like immersed in icebergs of preservative laden food that are high in complex carbohydrates and things that really just give it a very long, stable shelf life. And these are things that have not existed in until the very, very modern era. Historically, we're hunter gatherers, and we would sustain ourselves by find our food and continue on from one step to the other. But now we're in a modern era where food is not a necessity. It's of course, it's a necessity, but it becomes very, very easy to us.
Yeah, absolutely. And just following on from that, the kind of commitment that's needed to eat whole foods takes a bit of time, a little bit of commitment and intention. But I feel personally the benefits are just obvious and evident. Just more satiated, feel like I'm putting better products in my body, healthier, cleaner, more natural, and the benefits are innumerable when it comes to that. But it does require a little bit of thinking, and so that's what we're going to talk about today, because the convenience option is usually the unhealthy one. But of course, there are alternatives now coming more to the fore. But ultimately, eating food that's closest to its natural state is always going to be most beneficial for your body and for your family too.
It certainly is, and that's a challenge in the modern era that we live in, because we are confronted with a world that is overfed and undernourished because of the amount of convenience food that is out there. But with a little bit of forethought and a little bit of thinking, like you said, you can make whole foods a priority for you, and it doesn't require that much planning, but it does require a little bit of planning. And we just wanted to share a couple of, I suppose, hacks with you guys that would really, and they're simple, they're right in front of you, but it makes life so much easier when you think about it. One that comes straight to mind is, and it's just such a simple thing, it's when you're cooking dinner, cook enough so you have lunch the next day. Get a Tupperware container, put, cook twice as much dinner, whack the other half into a Tupperware container, boom, you've got lunch the next day. You don't need to be worrying about what to do, going to a cafe the next day for lunch, because it's there, it's ready, and it's available. Whether you're working on site, I'm sure you have a fridge available for you to store it. Microwaves obviously aren't the best warming mechanisms, but you know what? It's often going to be a hell of a lot better than going to a restaurant and not knowing what kind of oils they're using, not what kind of preservatives they're using. Because ultimately, if you're going to a restaurant, restaurants are businesses and they need to make a margin. And when it comes to the ingredients they use, it's a hell of a lot cheaper to use a really poor quality oil or to preserve, to preserve the flavor of your food with MSG and things like that. These are invisible ingredients that you don't really consider when you're putting something in your mouth, but they are oh so prevalent in modern cuisine that we eat on a regular basis.
Yeah, and I think what ties nicely into that is, we've spoken a lot about controlling your environment when it comes to exercise and keeping things close so they're in kind of arm's distance. So it's just easy to bring into your life. But the same thing applies to your pantry and your fridge and everything in the kitchen to make sure you're set up. So just to kind of like backpedal a little bit, like a weekly shop at an organic market or a farmer's market is a really good way to buy great produce. The cleanest versions that there really are can be really helpful. And of course, if that's not possible, supermarkets do have good choices out there as well. But just doing a big shop and doing it knowing what essentially the lifespan of the product is going to be also means you can think things through for the week ahead. Also, the importance of just like Tupperware and just having things ready to put, your leftovers in. It might seem like not such an important thing, but ultimately, if you've got everything available for you, then everything becomes easy. So it's about starting from what do I need to be able to live a healthy life, and then just work towards that by purchasing those things that make things time efficient, accessible, and so you're just not having to always overthink things. And so planning is key, controlling your environment is key, and so that would be the takeaways I'd bring to this topic. Anything else, Paul?
No, just to re-emphasize the actionable items for what we're trying to do for this topic is have a think about how you can make your environment easiest, or how you can make your environment most effortless and promoting of a healthy eating environment. Whether that's going out and buying a collection of Tupperware containers, or just consciously thinking about doubling up the portion size of your dinners for your next dinner.
Awesome. Hopefully this helps, and look forward to connecting again. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.